Today I want to take a look at Power Automate email and how to sign messages with tracing detail. Tracing what flow sent the message, what instance did it come from, what environment did it come from. A lot of times we get email alerts and it's not very clear where they originated. What flow is sending this? Is it in the default environment, a named environment? Was it test flow 2, test flow 3? A lot of times the emails, they have no tracing information. They have no signature. They have no source. So we're kind of at a loss when the messages arrive. Which flow was it that sent that particular message? And how do we go back to find it for any support, updates, disable it, modify it, all those kind of things. And I think if we take our email messages and we say something like action required, new alert, we have some sort of new message coming in, that's all well and good, but we don't really know which flow was it that sent this. Is that a flow I need to worry about? What happens if I get the email and say, this is sending too much mail, we want to turn it off? Or we want to modify the body and make the email more informative, change the formatting, change the recipients. Where did this email come from? And the fact of the matter is the emails don't tell us. They have no detail on them. So if we take something that's just kind of a standard email alert, go ahead and save it, run it. I know this is basic, but you're going to get a message that comes through and it really has no tracing. It has no origin. It doesn't have a detail about its sender. It doesn't come with a tracking number, as it were. So here we can see the flow ran successfully. Okay, fair enough. It sent an email message, which we have here in the back. And if we check the message, it simply says, action required, new alert. Who sent this? How do we update it? Which MS Flow was this related to? We have a lot of them. Even which environment do I go look at? I don't know. You might have a lot of environments. These messages have no tracing, they have no origin, and they're not that helpful for support. We're going to change that because we can do better. If we come over here to our HTML coding, take a look at our message that we were just examining, we're going to add something new to it. We're going to add an expression. And I'll put this in the comments so you guys have the visibility to the full code. But we're going to concatenate an HTTP prefix up to environment. We're going to bring in the environment name, which is a GUID number, by the way. We're going to hard code /flows, and then we're going to put in the name of the workflow, which is also a GUID, and then /runs, and then the workflow run.name, which is also a GUID. 3 different GUIDs. And just to trace that back, environment, the flow, and then the run. With all of this detail, that's a link that takes us directly to the instance. Now, it might look a little weird having that hang out at the bottom of your flow. You've got other things going on, and it's kind of not really a link you want end users clicking on. There's a couple ways of handling that. You could come in here and you could make an H5, maybe go ahead and put a foreground color on it, like white possibly. Save that, and then it's more subtle. It's signing the message. There'll be some detail on it, but end users aren't going to see it. They're not going to be confused by it. And there's a way of bringing it in a little more of a subtle fashion. So bring in our next alert. There we have the link, all spelled out. It's kind of large on the formatting. Yeah, coming through bold. See if we can change. So here we'll go ahead and update our HTML markup a little bit. We're going to do a div tag and provide a style attribute with color white, font size 5. That will make it small and basically invisible, where it's going to be white background, white foreground, execute a test, come over here, manual run, go ahead, run the flow, beautiful. Come over here, new message arrived. I don't see anything anymore. I just see the action alert. Okay, but if I highlight, wait a minute, something's down there, isn't it? This is going to be the color white, right? FFF, FFF, and the font size of 5 pixels. So small you can't see it. And you wouldn't know it was there unless you highlighted to essentially hover over it. I mean, even if you do know it's there, you can't really read it. But if you're troubleshooting, this is awesome because it gives you something to work with, more than 0. And if you take that link, you can go ahead and bring it over, drop it into your browser, and check out the flow execution directly. What environment was it? What were the inputs that it triggered? Do I want to resubmit or edit? All of the good things that you need to support the status, the duration, the environment, a resubmit or edit, all of the inputs and outputs for JSON. Everything you need to support the flow is readily available, and you can copy paste it off the message the end user got. Someone might open a help desk ticket. I got all these email alerts. It sent me 100 of them today. What is this thing doing? Or I got this message, but I want to change it. I want to reformat it, add more fields, or add a hyperlink, or some sort of modification. Can't do any of that. Nothing until you know where it came from. What's the origin? What's the tracing? Where did this mail come from? So by putting a very simple addition to your email footer, you're now giving yourself, your future self, the ability to troubleshoot and support by having a URL that takes you directly to the instance that is not going to disturb the end users. It's not a distraction. It's not a disruption. It's a tiny little thing in the footer of the email. So the next time you make an email step on your flow, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Take 10 seconds, copy paste this code at the footer, and at least you'll be able to support the messages long term. Forward this to your friends. Leave a comment if you like it. Thanks for watching.